This is going to be a little bit of a different approach as to what Gina was talking about. I know we're all aspiring to be, if we don't consider ourselves already, skin experts. And, I like to think that what we know is skin, whether it be skin, hair, or nails. I know there's a couple of cosmetologists on here as well. But the one aspect that we can sometimes forget about is just the concept that there's a business around this too. And so what I want to do today is kind of touch on some business building skills, some marketing skills, because I know that no one no one knows skin better than us that are on this call. And it's often that, sometimes we can lose sight of how important it is to be able to run the business aspect of it as well. So as Gina said, the ABCs of aesthetics, it's great to, oh, was I muted that whole time? Let me see 1 second. Oh, muted only for a minute. Alrighty, thank you. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, I'll just kind of go back real quick. What I was saying is that sometimes we can lose sight of how important it is to be able to run a business, and that we're dealing with clients and serving their needs as well. So as Gina talked about in her ABCs of aesthetics, that can be a 5-hour class. And at continuing educations, we have offered 5-hour classes before, and same thing with this. This can be another day-long class in itself. So what I want to do for this presentation is just spark some ideas for you to go forward, and hopefully it just gets the brain going on different ways you can incorporate some of the things we're going to be talking about into your own practice. So with that being said, taking the marketing approach to the 2021 skincare trends. And before we get started, just a little bit about me. Some of you may have been in one of my classes before, but my name is Michael McGuire. I'm the CEO of GM Revolution Men's Skincare. My background, I was very fortunate enough to grow up in the skincare industry. I like to say that I've had a skincare routine since I was probably 9 years old, which, a lot of men, especially younger men, can't say the same. So for me, skincare was second nature. And it wasn't until I went off to school and left home that I, started engaging with other young men and realized that my experiences were not like everyone else's, and that the concept of skincare was very foreign to a lot of people. And so that's when we had the idea of starting a men's skincare line and engaging men and educating them on the importance of skin health. So after that, my background is professionally in mechanical engineering and entrepreneurship. So you might think, how does that apply to skincare and the skincare industry? And I really I have a passion for, taking that mechanical engineering, combining it with entrepreneurship and the problem solving skills, critical thinking skills, and helping individuals like yourselves, also helping businesses. I have a passion for brand strategy, marketing strategy, and taking kind of the business approach, introducing that and introducing others to that side of the industry, because that can get lost. I know we talk a lot about skin and becoming skin experts, but it is important to be business experts as well, or at least to have, a solid foundation to grow your services for your clients. So that's a little bit about me. And so today, what we're going to be talking about, I want to first start on reflecting on the past 2020 skincare trends. It's not going to be all doom and gloom on 2020. Don't worry. This is going to be an exciting talk, because this is exciting, trendy stuff that's going on that we're all familiar with. Then we're also going to be talking on the current state of the skincare industry, along with 2021 skincare trends to look out for this year. So, as before we go forward, we must first look to the past. And so I saw the chat was exploding with questions before, and I really do want this this presentation to be engaging as well. And I want you all to engage in the chat room. So if you would reflect on, pre-pandemic, what do you think were some of the trends that were supposed to be popular in 2020? I would love to see some of what you think. Alrighty, dewy and glowing skin, bio oil body wraps, micro needling, magnetic eyelashes. Yep, definitely. Light therapy, micro shading. Yep, absolutely. A lot of these are spot on with what we were seeing. And yeah, microblading, a couple of those right in a row. Yep. So what I did before this presentation, I, just started with some simple Google searches of what some beauty blogs were talking about as we, blogs that were published in 2019 of outlooking for what 2020 was supposed to look like for the beauty industry. So I went ahead, I'm going to share some of those that I saw. What we saw is trends a lot on refillable products. Sustainability was massive, and this was a great trend to see that consumers were starting to hold big brands accountable. Zero waste beauty products, starting to hold them accountable for their environmental footprint. So that was a big trend that we saw in the industry. We also saw the introduction of personalized products. A lot of brands, they started to have quizzes that you could fill out, and it would kind of give you your skin type and have formulated products that were formulated just for your skin type or for the problems that you were facing for your skin. So personal products were big. Also, the introduction of clean beauty, that was just kind of a buzzword in the industry for the past year. And just the concept of clean beauty, it's a little vague of what that actually means. But it was more just the concept of natural products, no animal testing, and just kind of knowing exactly what ingredients were going into the products. So those were some trends that we saw there. We also saw, this one kills me, regular facials and peels and stress solutions. So all of these blogs I have, I've got the references down below when you can see. So this was posted in February of 2020, and I don't think they knew to the extent that stress solutions was going to be such an important trend. As I said, this is all pre-COVID. So those stress solutions, that they certainly nailed skincare as a stress solution in terms of what clients were going to be looking for 2020. So that one's a little ironic, and to reflect on that and how important that actually was. So I wanted to reflect on, what were some of the trends within those trends? Were there some common themes that we saw? And as I look at the concept of clean beauty and sustainability, refillable products, stuff like that, a lot of the trends that we saw, in 2020 times, but this is pre-COVID, life was a lot easier than it is now. And what we saw is that consumers were focused more on outward gratification. And as you can see, not a lot of those beauty trends that were supposed to be big for 2020, not a lot of them actually focused on how the product affected your skin, which is interesting. You would think, a lot of the trends would be result oriented, and that wasn't necessarily the case. And one thing that we saw is that those trends weren't necessarily built to last. By all means, they are great things that we should be focusing on. No one is, more passionate about sustainability and the environmental footprint that a brand can have. And I do like to see that as a trend. But in terms of what your clients are looking for, the outward gratification wasn't built to last. And as soon as the pandemic hit, we saw a lot of those trends kind of fade away, and brands were taking a different approach. So what I want for this class is to introduce you to trends that you can build a foundation on, that your clients will, kind of tapping into the root of what your customers are looking for. And, when we're fulfilling those needs at the core, we're able to build a sustainable brand around that. Also, I just want to highlight again, I love the trend as skincare as stress management. That is probably the one that is here to stay. And one thing that the pandemic did is that there are a lot of things going on that weren't talked about, and it brought to light a lot of things that were always there, and they brought it out into reality and just got it right in our face. And we started talking about different things. And so skincare stress management was definitely one of those trends that are here to stay. So I wanted to definitely reflect on the past year before we jump into the current state of the industry and our 2021 skincare trends. So I compiled this list based on a lot of market research, along with identifying what our customers and our clients are really looking for. And that these trends are more than just trends in themselves, and how we can build a foundation of our brands to focus on our clients in ways that is sustainable and ways that will last, and we can continue adding true value to them. So with that being said, wellness is our number one trend of the year. This is something that, as I mentioned, the pandemic really brought to light the concepts of wellness and mental health. Brands and individuals, that was always something that was on the rise of what people were talking about. But until we really hit a sincere low, and I know this past year has not been easy for a lot of people, until we hit that low, this wasn't prioritized. It was always just mentioned, but it was never the priority. So that's our number one trend of the year, is prioritizing wellness and mental health. Customizing all of the services we offer around those concepts instead of just subtly implementing them. They're going to be the foundation of what we do going forward. So wellness is our number one trend. Similar to that, mental health in the treatment room. We're going to be talking about that for the next 2 days. Also, the concept of home care. This is a trend that was huge during last year, another result of the pandemic, but not a lot of people are necessarily comfortable with regular facials. And so, as you saw, the past 2020 trend was regular facials and peels. That went out the window. I know our space was closed. So just like that, home care was emphasized that much more. And as Gina mentioned earlier this morning, holistic treatment for your clients, that's going to be a theme that you're going to hear throughout the whole conference. So I'm not necessarily going to be talking about skin treatments. I'm going to be talking about how we can market the theme of holistic treatment for your clients. Also going to be talking about hot ingredients. I know that the questions that you all had, a lot of them were ingredients based. I think it was 3 questions just about coconut oil and rose water. So we were going to be talking about hot ingredients that deliver results. And we're also going to be bringing Gina back for some Q&A to talk about some ingredients if you have more questions on that at the end. And also, product knowledge is our final trend of the year. So let's dive into each one of these. Number 1, wellness is more than a trend. This is here to stay. Before wellness and mental health were trendy topics that people talked about. They weren't prioritized as much as they are now. So I do want to mention that this concept of wellness is more than a trend. It is a lifestyle. It is important to implement this into your personal life, into your services that you offer your clients. And I really want to emphasize this is more than a trend. So with that being said, let's engage the chat again. I want to hear, what does wellness mean to you? I know it's a term we're all familiar with, but what does it mean to you personally? Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat. Balance. Lizette, I completely agree with that. Wellness is mind, body, and spirit. Absolutely. Health from the inside and out, total body wholeness. Sleep, yes. Yeah, we're going to be talking about sleep a lot. Wellness is mental, all caps, emphasize, all caps, exclamation points. CBD products, we're going to be talking about ingredients as well. So that's definitely a hot ingredient. Finding time for yourself, balance for sure, focus. Living day by day, I like that, Serena. Mental peace. Yep, you guys are all spot on with this. Energy vibes, Brittany, ditto, balance, self-care. Yes, absolutely. You guys are spot on with this. Um, so then a follow-up question that I have. So we just talked about the concept of wellness and what it means to you. But now I want to ask a different question. What is the source of your wellness? So we kind of talked about what it is. What is the source? How do you find that wellness? Let's toss in the chat as well. Yvette, meditation. Yep. Bree, meditation, inner peace. The food I eat, Shannon, yes, absolutely. Music, taking health, fitness, prayer, eating. Yes, I love all of this, guys. This is fantastic. And one thing I want to mention is that we're seeing some common themes here, but it's different for everyone. And that's why I have all capitalized. What is your source of wellness? So one thing I want to say is that wellness is real. All of those things that we talked about, whether it be the foods you eat, meditation, self-care, those are all actions and they came from you. They didn't come from me telling you about it. So I guess reflecting on sources of my own wellness. For those that know me, I am super passionate about golfing. That is my number one source of wellness. I know this past week, just gearing up for this conference, super excited about it, a little anxious on how it was going to go. And I just needed to step away real quick. And, one night I went to the golf range, I just hit a bucket of balls, tossed in headphones, and that was my escape. Another of mine is I love being in a coffee shop, reading a book. I love the energy around me and hearing people, but also being able to be a little more introspective with the book I'm reading. I've also recently, one of my friends just got certified as a yoga instructor. And so I've been attending some of her classes weekly now, and that has opened up a whole world of a new source of wellness that I haven't been introduced to before. So what I want to say is that all of those are actions, and that me telling you about meditation, you're not going to derive any form of wellness just from me telling you about it. They're all actions that come from you, and they're all personal. So going forward, I'm going to ask again, what is the source of your wellness? You are the only source of your own wellness. The rest of it is just tools to help you get there. I hope that makes sense to you. All of that, all of those sources that you all mentioned, they all stemmed from you. I can't just tell you about my golfing experience and it might be a great story for some of you, but you didn't derive any source of wellness just from me talking about it. It's being in that moment and taking time for yourself, to carve out time in a busy schedule, to find those sources of your wellness. So one thing I want to do now is, this is your first homework of my presentation. So everyone get out your pencils and paper, and I want to, first I'm gonna jump to the next slide. All right, before we go to that, I want to take time. So right on the top of your paper, wherever you're writing, I want you to write wellness toolbox and underline that. So I'll give you guys some time to do that. Wellness toolbox. And then what I want you to do under that is create a list, number it 1 through 10. And what I want you to do, whether it's in between breaks, if it's on your lunch break, or if it's tonight, I want you to take time and fill out that list of different sources that you can tap into. And when you have that compiled list, that's going to be your full toolbox of, believe me, I know life is not always easy, especially this past year. A lot of us are struggling with personal things, professional things, relationships. And it's just nice to have tools that you can reflect on and go back to, when times aren't easy. I know I have my own toolbox here of what I like to do on Sundays as I plan out my whole week. I like to take my toolbox and insert different things into each day. Even if I know I've got a busy Monday coming up, I can, put in 15 minutes of meditation. And that's one source of wellness from my toolbox that I got. So I encourage you to build your toolbox and start finding ways to implement them throughout your week. And I'd love to hear your feedback. I'd love to see your list as well. So feel free to share that with us after the conference. But that is homework number one to fill out for you. So some of you might be thinking, all right, this is great. I love it. This is positive. I saw the word vibes tossed in the chat. But you might be asking, what does this have to do with skincare, hair care, and nail care? Well, one thing that we talked about is that wellness starts with finding inward validation. It's that you're the only source of your own wellness. And this is just a concept that is kind of hard in the beauty industry by nature, that, a lot of us, we focus on, the whole reason that we are interested in skincare in the first place, a lot of us, especially our clients, is to be promoting our physical self to the outside world. So introducing an inward validating concept such as wellness is hard in such an industry focused on our outward appearance. So what I want to do is focus on beauty, the concept of beauty and skincare as a tool, not as the end goal. So for me personally, having perfect skin is not my end goal. It's rather a tool that I can use throughout my day to get there, to get to that. The end goal isn't necessarily perfect skin. The end goal is the concept of self-care and prioritizing our own health. We talk about skin as an organ. So we want to focus on skincare as a tool, not as the end goal, because we'll never be satisfied completely with seeking for that outward validation. It will never be enough. So when it comes to wellness, we want to focus on inward validation, using skincare as a tool, not as the end goal. So how does this, I guess I'll recap real quick. I just want to emphasize this, bold it, capitalize it. Wellness comes from within using outside tools. So how can we connect those dots into our practice? How does this not only apply to ourselves, but how does it apply to our clients as well? So how can we promote wellness for our clients? One thing that I love the concept of is the concept of prescribing wellness. Just like a doctor prescribing medicine, we can prescribe wellness. And home care is a great way to do it. That's also another trend. But these trends you're gonna see a lot of common themes within them. But masks are the first right answer of prescribing wellness. They're a great way to connect the dots to our clients of how often, I know it just feels like we can never catch up. How often are we able to find opportunities to just sit for 15, 20 minutes with ourselves in silence? I know that the world is loud and it's quick, and silence is, a lot of us are scared of silence. A lot of us are scared to just sit alone with our thoughts. And it's in those moments that, we can be a little more introspective, thinking about our goals, and masks are a great way to combine what we do with skin to the concept of wellness. So that's one thing that I encourage you all to do is just think, prescribe wellness, and masks are just one way. What I want to do with this presentation is just give you sparks to get your brain going of different ways that you can start prescribing different things to your clients. And then one thing also, talk to your clients. It just seems so simple, right? Ask them, where do they want to be before their next appointment? One thing that we offer is, and I'm sure a lot of people offer different services to where you can book 5 treatments and you're scheduling every other week, once a month for 5 months, stuff like that. And start talking to them of, where do you want to be by the time we see you next, both with your skin, but also with your life. And one thing that you're doing is you're asking open-ended questions. These are questions that demand answers that require a lot of thought. It requires someone to look inwards to have a good answer of where they want to be. These are big life questions that it forces your clients to really think about. Man, I've just been flying through life, going day by day of tackling the day of whatever comes to me, but I haven't really given thought to where I want to be. So engage your clients, talk to them, ask them open-ended questions. Don't be scared to ask them big questions. And also promoting wellness by getting creative into little details around your spa. These are things that I love. If it's even even just little signs around. I know one thing that we saw in the intermediate slides that we're flipping through was, did you meditate today? And we got that idea through one of the email campaigns that we run. That's the email services that we use at continuing educations. Instead, on their website, when things are loading, and usually you just get a little spinning circle, they're asking those open-ended questions of, did you remember to meditate today? And you can just put those things, put little things like that, just the little details of constantly surrounding your clients with wellness and those concepts. Going on to the next slide. This is one thing that I love, and I highly recommend you guys either take a picture of this or under your wellness toolbox, write these down as well. Ask your clients those questions. Have them list life goals 1, 2, 3, skin goals 1, 2, 3, or hair nail goals, whatever it is. And one thing you can do is that you can even print something like this out, and if your clients are buying product, toss something into their bag that has open-ended stuff like this, and encourage them to fill it out and to come back to you and get to know your clients of where they want to be before they see you next. You want to know what their life goals are just as much as you want to know their skin goals. So I encourage you to write this down. And one thing we want to do is be consistent as, instructors. I want to hear from you all. What are your life goals? What are your skin goals? We want to hear from you. We want to get to know you all that are on this call just as much as you're going to get to know your clients and your customers. So I encourage you in the break, tonight, tomorrow morning, while you're drinking your coffee, think about this. And it should spark some interesting thought of, when a lot of times we don't sit back to reflect on where we want to be all the time. And we can just get caught up in going through the motions of life. So I encourage you all to just 1, 2, 3, life goals, skin goals. And I want to hear from you all too. So our second trend of the year is mental health in the treatment room. And I know some of you are only going to be here today, and we have an entire class tomorrow. It's going to be a discussion between myself and Ashley, our esthetician, and we're going to be talking about for an hour of mental health in the treatment room. But I do want to mention it for those of you that can't join us tomorrow. And I do want to just talk on it briefly of the importance of emphasizing mental health in the treatment room for yourself and for your patients. And so one thing that we've noticed is that the role of the skin expert, it's changed throughout the years into more of a holistic role. Like I said, holistic is going to be a theme that you hear throughout this entire weekend. And the role of the esthetician, of the skin expert, the cosmetologist, you all know it's more than just treating their skin. It's treating them as a person. And I'm sure you all have very personal stories of things you have heard in the treatment room. I like to say esthetician is part skin expert and part therapist. And I'm sure you all can identify with that. And we have to be ready for that. We have to, promote our own mental health so that we can take care of others and be a holistic caretaker for our clients. And just one little thing that I like to do is ask you how you start your treatments. One thing that is great. I know I've got a call every Monday morning with an executive team, and it's just a meeting to highlight company goals, benchmarks that we're at. But what we do before we talk any sort of business in the treatment room, before you're talking anything about skin, try starting with a positive focus from both you and the patient. And so that's just a way to start the practice off on a positive note. So if it's just a positive focus of what you're grateful for, maybe one good thing that's happened to you recently, or what you're looking forward to And I encourage you to just start from the second that your client walks in the door. Start with intention, start with promoting mental health, start with promoting wellness. And I think you'll see a difference in your practice. But more on that to come tomorrow. We're going to have a full discussion on this, but it is an important trend, and I did want to mention it just briefly today. So our next trend, home care. This has been massive throughout the past year of 2020. I know a lot of patients are still a little hesitant to come to the treatment room and to be in that intimate setting and close contact, but that's where home care comes in. So our clients' needs, as we have seen, they have changed this past year. But one thing we need to do is we need to change with them. And I know a lot of times that we think home care and retail, it's not the job of the esthetician or cosmetologist, but I will tell you, it is the opportunity. It's the opportunity to be prescribing not only wellness, but prescribing the right products for your clients. And one thing that we've seen the past year is that the our clients and their skin issues, we've seen more skin issues the past year than we ever have, whether it's due to stress management, lifestyles changing. And so there's a gap in our skin, in our clients' skin, and how they're taking care of it. Because especially here in Illinois, we know, and we're in the Chicagoland area, we know that our spaces have been closed. We haven't been able to treat them as we traditionally are used to treating them, but we need to adapt with them. And just because we're not treating them in the traditional sense of coming in for those regular facials, they should still be turning to us to solve their skin issues and to solve those needs that they have. Just because we're not seeing them in person, they should still be turning to us. Think of this webinar that we're having right now. Just because this is the first time, this is the first year that we've been able to host virtual events. As educators, your needs have shifted this past year, and we've had to adapt with them. That is the same, that holds true for solving our clients' skin problems as well, and being those skin caretakers for them. So as I mentioned, retail is not everyone's strength, but guess what? Does this look familiar? So this was a great picture that we saw on I know a lot of you follow Dermoscope's Instagram page, and when I saw this, it definitely spoke true to myself of when your client tells you they buy their skincare off of Amazon. Show of hands, who has heard this or heard something similar to this, and maybe your face looked like Jim's from The Office. Yep, that's definitely something that we hear often. And why is this the case? We are the skin experts, and our clients are coming to us for skincare advice. Why are they not also coming to us for advice on products? So retail is not everyone's strength. I understand that you are all experts on skin. You can all give me the best treatment possible, and your clients come to you for those results. But it is our duty to fulfill those needs and point our clients in the right direction of the right products that they should be using away from the treatment room. So let's get creative with this. Think of different ways that you can implement retail into your clients' lifestyles. So these are just some different ways that we can get creative. This past year, Girls' Night In is the new Girls' Night Out. People are staying inside. Different events are being hosted inside, smaller events. People are gathering just one-on-one. Zoom facial nights are very popular right now. And think particular on Monday nights, hand up if you're guilty of, I know The Bachelor is on every Monday right now. Hand up if you're watching that, or if you're getting together with your friends to watch those every Monday night. As a skin expert, how can you be tapping into what your customers are doing? Think of the lifestyles that they're doing. Think of what they're interested in, and how can you incorporate home care into what they're already doing? So, hosting a virtual girls' night in or a Zoom facial night where everyone puts on their mask together, pours a glass of wine, and watches The Bachelor or something like that. I encourage you to get creative, but listen to your clients, listen to what they're interested, and be creative in how you can incorporate some of the products that you offer or different home care solutions into your client's lifestyle. Also, tap into your community. I know one thing is that your clients, you know them all on a very, most of the time, you know them all on a very personal basis. You know what they do for a living, what their husband or wife does for a living, where their kids go to school, what sports their kids play. Tap into that community and bring the spa to them. Also, your clients know each other. Use that to your advantage and get creative in different ways that you can, bring the community and the spa to them. And then finally, most importantly, we have to understand exactly who our client is. And this is something I am very passionate about. And I've taught continuing education classes just on the business building skill of understanding our clients and the different segments of our clients. So if you think about how you care for someone, maybe someone who's younger, who has male skin, younger, you're going to prescribe different home care for me as someone who maybe is older looking for anti-aging solutions. So you have to be able to segment your customers and understand exactly what skin issues they might be dealing with, and how you can kind of, I guess this is going to tie into my next slide, but how you can prescribe home care for them. We like to say that we are the skin experts and that we should be able to prescribe, just like we're prescribing wellness, we can be prescribing home care. We're not selling. A lot of people are scared of retail because they think they're selling, but no, we are prescribing home care. And so one great way to do this is after every session, after every treatment, if you're scheduling them at the front desk for their next session of treatments, or if they're wondering about what products, what I like to say is finish every treatment with walking them through exactly what you did. So say you have Michelle who just came in for a facial. After the treatment, you can say, Michelle, these are the products that we used. This is why we did them. These were the ingredients. Remember, we always want to put ourselves as the skin experts that we are. These are the ingredients that we use today. These are the products. This is what I suggest you use going forward. So before you see me, you can continue, you can build upon what we did in the treatment room. You can continue building upon that at home. And that's a great way to introduce home care. You want to be able to sell retail, just from the business perspective. And what I have here on the last slide, and what we talked about before, the last bullet point, I guarantee you that your clients are treating their skin at home. I guarantee you they're not just coming in for facials and don't touch their skin for 2 weeks until they see you again. So if we know that they are using products at home, it is our duty to point them in the right direction, and our obligation to give them products that you can, give the green light, give the thumbs up of this is what you should be doing to take what we do in the treatment level, to take what we do in the treatment room to the next level. And also, as I mentioned before, some clients are still hesitant to come in for a treatment, but that doesn't mean we can abandon them. We can't say, well, they're not coming in, they're no longer our clients. They still are our clients, and we have to adapt and adjust to them. So like I said, I guarantee they're still treating their skin, even if they're not coming in for their regular treatments. So let's just make sure they're not treating their skin from somewhere like Amazon, that they're using the products that you trust, and that you've tested and that you encourage them to use at home as well. So definitely be creative. I know that retail doesn't come naturally for all of us. We're skin experts. It's not the job of the skin expert, it's the opportunity. So our next trend of the year is holistic treatment for your clients. Once again, This is the theme of the conference. You're going to be hearing this over and over until you're sick of hearing the word holistic. So once again, I want to engage the chat room. I want to hear, what does health mean to you? Toss it in the chat. What does the concept of health mean to you? Listening to what your body needs. Yep. Health is wealth. Brittany, you've tossed a couple things in the chat that I've loved so far. Staying positive, relaxing, balance, longevity, homeostasis, feeling good in all caps. Yes, Laura. Preventing sickness and disease. Gina, that's awesome. You know, health is preventative care. Let's not wait until it's too late to do something about it. It means I can keep up with my 3 kids, Stephanie. I love that. Being courageous to say no to things outside of work and family. Taking a deep, long breath. That is one thing, Diane, that I wanted to start with. And so I know that's in my wellness toolbox, is just breathing exercises. So I guess it's not too late to introduce it. So everyone on the call, I encourage you, take a deep breath, breathe in, hold it for 5 seconds, and release. You know, deep breaths can do wonders for us. Keep it simple, Sue. Yep. Alrighty, I love that. So I've got a hint for all of you. It's all of those. Health is all of those. And that's where the concept of holistic really comes into play, is that our skin is the window into the health of our entire body. We can look at our clients and we can tell them if they're healthy just by looking at their skin. We can see if they have low blood pressure, if they have overexposure to sun. And so these are some things that we talked about. Gina mentioned these in the ABCs of aesthetics, and I know Ashley's going to be talking about them, but these are the factors that impact our skin, and that it's water, diet, stress management. Some of you mentioned that. Are you smoking? Is your client smoking or drinking? How is your sun exposure? And I saw in all caps sleep. So I definitely resonate with that. But all of these impact our skin. And as I said, I want to kind of give you the lens of the marketing side of this. How can you market the holistic treatment of your clients? How can you market, encouraging them to drink enough water, managing their stress? And is it sending out different emails to them of promoting this stuff, of not just focusing on of the skin treatments or hair services or nail services that you offer, and that you're not just marketing those treatments and those services, but you're also promoting holistic treatment. You're promoting the holistic health of their entire body. So that's one thing I do want to mention. And once again, I could talk about a whole class just on this and diving into each one of these of different ways you can promote this. I just want to create the spark for you all to be thinking about ways that you can be promoting this for your clients. And then going off of holistic care, medical aesthetics also plays into this as well. Botox and fillers are a massive trend that we have seen this year. And this is just one article that I pulled up that it really nails it on the head of what we're looking at in 2021. So since this last decade, really every single year, Botox and fillers, they've gained quite a popularity as some of the most requested non-invasive plastic surgery procedures, and they're only getting bigger. In 2020, we saw them a lot. They're only going to continue getting bigger in 2021. So we see enhancement, not alteration, more than ever. Patients these days are looking not for major alterations in appearance, but just for those subtle enhancements instead. Laser treatments can tackle pigmentation, inflamed skin, and red veins while boosting brightness and collagen for more natural, balanced, younger looking skin. And we see this with newer lasers. Excess recovery time is also eliminated. So when it comes to medical aesthetics and treating skin holistically, a lot of times you get the question of holistic versus medical, and can these philosophies be combined? So I'm here to say that absolutely, that these philosophies can be combined. Why? Because whenever we're doing an advanced procedure, whether it be in medical aesthetics or even plastic surgery, stuff like that, our recovery time is going to be based on the overall health of our body. The healthier our tissue is and the healthier our organs are, healthier our body is, the quicker we can recover from these treatments. So I know we have some medical estheticians on this call. I encourage you, get to know your client and get to know the health of their whole body before you do any treatment with them. Encourage all of those things that we talked about, as we encourage all of those, encourage the health of the whole body before you do any treatment with them, and that will eliminate the recovery time as well. So these philosophies 100% can be combined, and I will go as far to say they should be combined. So I did want to mention those because we do see Botox and fillers are a huge trend going forward. Also, the next trend, ingredients that deliver results. Clients come to us for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's just our friends stopping in to say hi. Sometimes they come for an escape, a place to relax. But I guarantee you the number one reason clients are coming to us is for results. And keep that in mind. So the trend is ingredients that deliver results. Get to know the client. How can we deliver results if we don't even know what results they're looking for in the first place? And skin consultations are a must. Gina's going to be giving an entire presentation just on how to do skin consultations. And the way we live in a virtual world, skin consultations are easier than ever, of blocking out time every day, of if it's just an hour and a half a day of blocking out time for your clients to call you for video chats. One thing we like to do in a virtual consultation is have them send close-up pictures of their skin before the skin consultation, so you can really see what you're working with. But get to know the client to deliver the results. Remember, you are the skin expert. You need to know what ingredients your clients are using. You need to know the ingredients that you are using and why you're using them. Also, visualize your results over time. This is great for marketing. Your clients will love to see. I guarantee you that the people here are loving to see how much they have progressed over time. It also reinforces that your services are working and that this is why they should continue doing this, and that's something that we can build upon. So before and afters are huge for marketing promotions, also for capturing new clients. It goes to show the power of what you can do with services that you offer, with the products that you use. So result-oriented care is definitely a trend going forward. These are also hot ingredient trends for 2021. I know a lot of you, just on the last call, we're talking about different ingredients. So I want to encourage you, what are you doing personally to stay up to date on the newest ingredients? And so these are just continuing education's trends of the year. Of these are the big products to look out for: niacin, niacinamide, CBD. I saw, when we were talking about wellness, CBD was even mentioned there. Bakuchiol and the anti-aging qualities that gives, peptides, hyaluronic acid, vitamins, minerals, herbal extracts. And one ingredient that people often forget about is water. Water is a great ingredient, not only to be drinking enough water, but water-based products are great to keep in mind for ingredient trends of 2021. So feel free to ask specific questions about ingredients. I just want to touch on these real quick. Like I said, this entire presentation could go on for 5 hours in itself, but I just want to highlight these different ingredients to look out for, and get to know what your clients are using. What are the active ingredients in those products? So going right along, the final trend is product knowledge. It's important to know what products your clients are using, why they're using them, and also consumers are getting smart about products, smarter than ever. Research is, we've got our phones and the internet at our fingertips, and they're getting smart about what ingredients are popular, and that just encourages us to be the expert even more so. So that they're coming to us and we have the answers that they might be asking. So it's our duty to help clients see through the popular marketing And believe me, I love brand strategy. I love marketing as a passion of mine. But as the skin expert, it's your duty and your obligation to help clients see through that marketing and understand exactly what goes into an effective product.